Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I am Chad with the Duval Dummies, #1 dummy. Today we're out here on the Fat Trail, the Florida Adventure Trail. We're right here where the Osceola National Forest meets the Fairview Hunting Club. It's not the start of the trail. The trail actually starts a little bit further west up by I-75 on the Georgia-Florida line. Didn't have time to go do that part this morning, so we're just going to start right here. We're going to make our way through Osceola, and I believe it goes all the way through to the East Tower and out that way. So we'll kind of go that way, and I'll stop and show you some things that I've learned in the 35 years that I've been coming out here and hunting and camping and having fun. So let's get to it. So today is November 11th, and yesterday a hurricane came through, Hurricane Nicole, or Tropical Storm Nicole, and pushed a lot of water in these woods. It was raining for about 24 to 36 hours up here. So there's a lot of water in the woods right now. So this is something that you'll typically come across on the Fat Trail. Big water crossings, and you can't tell how deep they are. So I've seen water crossings like this in the middle of the road where they don't even cover up the bottom of your tires, and then sometimes you'll get in there and it'll go and you'll roll water over the hood. Where we are right now, basically the very beginning of the trail through Osceola, and I'm probably gonna turn around because I have a lot of experience down this road, and I know that it gets really bad that way. Last time I was up here was about 6 months ago, and so it was a lot drier. And back this way, there's another road that cuts off to the left that's also on the trail. I can't remember the name. Let me grab my phone. All right, so right now we're on 234. 234 goes up and goes around, and it travels all the way back down to 262, which is where you'd be making a left. There's also another road that goes around 237. Yeah, up by 237. 237 is really bad. So if it's wet out, just go ahead and stay away from there. A lot of it, the last time I was on 37 was it wasn't deep water like this. It was actually just kind of really fun mud. But I would assume by now it has probably gotten chewed up by other people coming out here and playing, things like that. So I would take a lot of caution going through that. So we're going to get turned around, and we're going to find another road to go down. So I'll probably go back out 262A to 234, and then cut down 34. Maybe we'll ride back up 234 to Sandhill on 272. Show you guys Sandhill Camp. So that's the game plan for now. We're going to turn around and get rolling out of here. Just a couple things about the forest up here. It's basically a fishbowl. It's also one of the smallest national forests. It may even be the smallest national forest in the whole country. But it's a fishbowl, and all that water comes in here and it collects. I've seen a lot of people come up here, thinking that their four-wheel drive truck or whatever with street tires on it is invincible, and getting in a lot of trouble, getting stuck and taking on some water and things like that. So be careful up here. All right, well, after a few twists and turns, we have finally made it to Sandhill Camp. One of the great things about this forest system is that if one road is nasty and basically blocked, there's always 10 more roads that you can take to get around it. So we did that and ended up here. We're going to try and continue on the trail down 272 here to 214. And then we'll take 214 back to 32 and 32 back over to where the East Tower is. I probably won't get any footage from the East Tower just because there's already a bunch of people there already set up camping. I went by there this morning. So for now, we're gonna eat a little lunch, have a little tuna fish snack, and then we'll start heading on. I got my dad's coming up, and some of the guys that I used to hunt with will be here today. Tomorrow is opening day, hunting season. So we're gonna hang out with them tonight and fry up some deer meat, eat a good dinner. And then I'll decide whether I'm gonna go home tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, later on this afternoon. Oh yeah. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Alright, so we're at the intersection of 272 and 214. I'm going to turn down 214. It's not part of the fat trail. Good enough to know that this road after a heavy rain is mud holes where the water is coming over the hood, rolling up the windshield and going over the roof. So I'm not messing with that, especially by myself. If I had Kyle or Timmy here, maybe. But I think the last time we came out here was March, and we rode down and went all the way to 212, I believe. And we rolled water over the hood about 14 times, and that was during the dry. So I'm gonna make this right here on 214. We're gonna go down, hit 232, make a left, and head on back. Another thing to think about, days like today, where it's very, very wet out here, and even the main roads have a lot of water holding on them, just go ahead and put your truck in four-wheel drive and just keep going. Stay at a steady speed so you don't tear up these roads. The Forest Service comes out and they grade these roads every year, usually right after hunting season. And what we don't want is people coming up here and putting it in two-wheel drive and digging giant ruts out in the middle of a main road. They'll start closing these roads off permanently. So that goes for everywhere on the fat trail. Just be respectful. That way everybody can come out here and enjoy it. When I was a kid and I used to come out here with my dad, there was no closed roads. Back in those days, you could basically go anywhere you wanted to go that had a road. And as I started to get older, as I would come up here, they'd have more and more roads blocked off. And then they went through the entire forest and numbered all the roads. But when they did that, if the road didn't have a number on it, you weren't allowed to drive down it. I remember the first year they really implemented it. We were running dogs up off of what we used to call White Gate Road, and there was a road where the old fence line was. There used to be a homestead back there, and our dogs were back there. One of the guys that I was hunting with had just had knee replacement surgery, so we decided to drive down that road instead of walk. So we got down to the end of the road, I ran into the woods, grabbed the dogs, brought them back, and as we were coming out, a federal game warden was pulling in, and basically he let us know, hey, this is the last year of warnings. After this year, you'll be fined. And I can't remember what the fine was, but it was like hefty, like $2,000 or something. So they're not playing. If they catch you on these roads that are not numbered, they will ticket you. This is the big water crossing on the Fat Trail. Locally, they call it Calvin Slough. I've been through here countless amount of times back in the day. If you see down here, there's all these big rocks and stuff. That went all the way through. It was pretty shallow. When it would rain a lot, obviously the water level would come up. There's a creek that it feeds through right here, right in the middle of it, where those little sniper stumps are. It would get a little bit deeper, but it still had a rock bottom in it, and you just go right on through it. Now people have gone in and played with it, and with side-by-sides and four-wheelers and things like that, and larger trucks on bigger tires. So now I can see the bottom right there in the middle and on the ends. So it goes in and then it drops down, and then it kind of does this like 2 or 3 times before it goes out to the other side. But right before the other side is where it gets really, really deep. I'm obviously not going through it. I'm by myself. But it is a cool little place. Just use a lot of caution when you go through here. But it is a cool little place. Just use a lot of caution when you go through here. Excellent tool to have is like Avenza Maps is the one that I use the most. You download the motor vehicle usage map for whatever forest you're in, or state forest, or whatever it is. And then you can actually overlay tracks and waypoints and things like that over top of that. So like I have the Fat Trail run across my motor vehicle map for Osceola National Forest at Avenza. And it GPS follows you whether you have service or not. You have a little blue dot that shows you exactly where you are. I do have the subscription to the Gaia. I pay the $30 a year or whatever it is. I'm not a big fan of Gaia. I don't know why I keep paying it. I never use it, but I guess I kind of have it as a backup in case something were to happen. I don't like the map layout. Maybe I just don't understand it, and I need to do more research on it. But it always looks like it's fuzzy. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do some more research on it, or maybe somebody can tell me what video to go watch to actually truly understand it. The motor vehicle usage map is awesome because they show you what roads you're allowed to drive on. They're all numbered, and then as you pull up to the road that you think you're at, there should be a little placard on the side of the road that tells you, 232B or 232D or whatever it is. And usually D is a little tram roads that go off the sides of the main roads. Just be wary when you go in there. Go down some of those smaller roads. They're very tight. You're going to get some pinstriping, and the mud holes can be extremely deep. So just something to think about if you're going through a small road like that. As you're riding the road, you'll start to see where there'll be like a big cluster of trees, and it looks like everything's getting smaller, like you're fixing to drive into like a big head of trees. And that's exactly what you're doing. As a kid growing up here riding and hunting and stuff like that, we always called them ponds. So you would go in and we would say, hey, go to the second pond, and then that's where the deer usually cross up there, whatever. So you would drive through, and as you come up to the pond, everything starts to shrink in. It looks like the road's going to disappear, and then you go through a very small, narrow trail that basically goes through a part of the creek that runs through the forest. Those are usually where your deepest parts are going to be. As that trail closes in, that's usually going to be the worst. So watch out for those. So in the description below, what I'll do is I'll add a link to Avenza. I will also add a link to the Osceola National Forest vehicle usage map. They're super easy to find. You can actually go on the National Forest website and go to Florida and find all the forests in Florida, Apalachicola, Ocala, and Osceola. And you can download the vehicle usage maps and put them on Avenza. Very, very simple. But I'll add links to all that stuff down below. There's a decent amount of camping. Right now we're at Sand Hill Camp, and there are probably 8 to 10 campsites, individual campsites that you can get. They're free, first come, first serve. If you're a one truck outfit, try and get the smaller ones. Also another one, Big Camp. Big Camp's a great camp. It's a big wide open field. You can fit as many people as you can in there. The East Tower is another hunting camp, or another camping area. On the other side of the forest you have the West Tower, which is a huge campsite. All first come, first serve, same thing as the East Tower. And then there's the Cobb Camp and Wiggins, and there's another one over on 235 that I'm forgetting. I can't remember the name of it. But those are good campsites. And they all are primitive sites. So you come and there's nothing here. So it's hunting season out here right now. They got a portalet over there. I would be a little weary about using that. I'd rather just walk off in the woods and take care of what I got to take care of. But all the hunting camps like this will usually have portalets put out during hunting season, which is the second weekend of November to the second weekend of January. It's also usually not a great time to camp during the weekend. So if you're planning on a trip between the second weekend of November and the second weekend of January, you might want to try and plan it during the week, Monday through Thursday, because by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, these woods will have a lot of people running and hunting in them. So just kind of something to think about. So we've made it to the cemetery here out in the middle of the forest. John D. Williams, he served in the Confederate Army during the Civil War. He died April 27th, 1896. Legend has it is that his horse is also buried here with him. So as you can see, this is it's fenced off, it's protected. The family comes in, they still live out here in this area. They come in and they maintain the site and keep it nice, keep it clean. it's pretty cool if you get a chance to ever get up here. Kind of gotta use your nose a little bit to figure out where it's at, but it's a pretty cool little place if you can find it. Just come up here and hang out, pay your respects, and leave it as you found it. I'll leave a link down in the description of how you can get all the information about John D. Williams and what his life was all about. Alright, well, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up my fat adventure. I'm going to jump in the truck. I got about a 3 or 4 mile ride up to where our camp house is. It's right on the edge of the forest boundary. We're going to hang out with the boys and try and have some fun. As always, y'all have a good time and enjoy yourselves out here in the woods. Stay safe, don't tear up the roads, leave stuff the way you found it. Alright, so I hope you guys can get on this adventure trail and run it all the way from the start, all the way around, back up through Apalachicola and all the way out to, I guess, where it ends at Alabama. John's worked really hard on this and he's done a really good job. Really good job. The Osceola part is a lot of fun. I can't wait to keep on going and try some other stuff, make it down through Ocala and with the Lucci, or however the hell you say that. We'll make it through there, and I've got hopefully a trip coming up with a buddy here in the near future where we're going to go out to Apalachicola. So I'm sure we'll do most of the trail through Apalachicola and bring it to you guys on the YouTubes. Alright, well, I'm out of here. I'm going to go meet up with the boys. My dad's out here somewhere in the woods. He called me on the radio a few minutes ago and didn't know where he was. So I'm going to go find him. Y'all have a good one. Later. And I'm going to eat some more crackers and think. For more on the Florida Adventure Trail, head to their Facebook page and check out their website, floridaadventuretrail.com. For some great YouTube videos on the Florida Adventure Trail, check out Sunshine State Adventure Company, OverlandeRoos, Sunshine State Vikings, and Baptism Overland, as well as their respective channels on Facebook and Instagram.